Welcome to KGSM-TV. I'm Zoe Jones. We have so much in store for you guys today. We have information about parking lots, rush week, the return of football, and tailgating. But our top story for today, while most of the campus community is happy to see some changes on campus, some students have voiced their opinions regarding the dorms. Our own Kendall Edwards tells us more.
As the fall semester begins, concerns arise about the progress of Judah and Bashir's halls. Renovations over the summer were interrupted by a lack of supplies.
And we realized towards the end of July that we couldn't get both done. So the original plan was to shut down Bashir's and work on that throughout the semester.
On August 10th, students received an email informing that Bashir's hall would be unavailable. Bashir's being close to 100% full, while Judah held 60% occupancy. Residential Life decided to move residents to Scanlon Hall.
So that kind of caused my peers to talk about that, and people were upset, and it just became controversial as a whole.
Monica and her peers created a petition stating their concerns on the decision. Attentions over groups of the issues gained a response from Residential Life.
We will hold off on Bashir's, and I'm working with Director Adkins to make sure that building is updated at a time where we have minimal impact.
Many changes on campus have been made, such as laundry facilities and C-store remodels. There will be changes to Bashir's and Judah Hall in the future.
We're going to put repaint everything in there. We're going to redo the main doors going into every suite, just for safety reasons and being able to get in and out. Though we realized that was a major need. Going through good lighting, put new lighting in.
Reporter from KGSM, Kendall Edwards.
Another dorm change you may have noticed is the demolition of Logan Hall, which was torn down over the summer. Another summer project completed before the start of school, improved parking lots. The university spent about $1.5 million on the new pavement, and the majority of the funds come from the state. Physical plant director Brian Adkins said that fixing the parking lots was a top priority for the university this year.
We knew we had issues. Students knew we had issues, and our main goal was to try to make the campus more attractive, not only to people driving up down 29 Highway, but for our students and our parents and things like that come on campus.
Physical plant also wanted to thank Governor Parsons, Representatives Bill Faulkner and Brenda Shields, and Senators Tony Luetkemeyer and Dan Hedgeman, as well as our university president, Dr. Elizabeth Kennedy, and her staff. The university has plans to keep making renovations throughout the year. Missouri Western, a school of applied learning, first-year nursing students into hands-on learning experience opportunities. This is an experience that usually isn't available until their senior year. Reporter Trinity Knapp brings us this story.
Although COVID-19 has impacted all of us, the Missouri Western Nursing Program has had more than its fair share of chaos. From sanitizing more than usual to actually administering COVID vaccines, they have done it all.
First semester, we were thrown right into learning how to do COVID tests and then moving on to doing vaccinations, which is not something that they would have normally had us doing as first-year nursing students, but we just kind of have to roll with what's being given to us and work to meet the needs of healthcare system and what they need right now.
Students have been given the unique hands-on opportunity to administer vaccines.
We actually got to administer them on humans, real people, in the mall. Whoever wanted to come could come and get their vaccine between Pfizer and Moderna, and we just administered those like all day.
Student Macaulay Prothero says the program is doing its best to prepare her and her classmates.
Missouri Western's done a really good job of adapting to what's going on and still putting us in situations to practice our skills and just develop into competent caretakers. We've done a lot in our simulation lab that's been great here. We've done a lot of virtual stuff. We've done phone interviews. The staff is really hands-on and just helping simulate those situations to prepare us for when we graduate and when we enter the workforce.
Although this year has been a difficult one to maneuver, there seems to be an underlying tone between those in the nursing field.
If we all keep working together, it's going to get better.
With contributor Jaden Miller reporting for KGSM-TV, I'm Trinity Knapp.
For more information, check out the Department of Nursing's website at missouriwestern.edu. Coming up, a closer look into campus Greek life and a national award for one university professor. More when KGSM-TV continues.
As fun as college is, it can be a really stressful time. It's easy to feel alone.
Even in full classrooms, sometimes it still feels like you have no one.
It's especially easy to feel isolated during these crazy times.
It's hard to recognize the signs when you don't know them.
Don't be afraid to reach out and get help.
There are always ways to get help on campus.
The Counseling Center is always ready to work with you.
There's also lots of ways to get help off campus.
There are several different hotlines you can reach out to.
Make sure to check in on your friends and family.
Keep an eye out for the signs.
There's no shame in recognizing that you're struggling.
There's no shame in asking for help.
There is no shame in taking care of yourself.
You and your mental health are the priority.
See the signs. Take action.
Take action.
Take action.
Take action.
Take action.
Take action.
I'd really encourage, if you need to talk to someone, reach out to us. That's what we're here for.
Missouri Western is a university that takes pride in the work of its students, but this week we're taking a second to recognize a professor. Dr. recently received the award of the Distinguished Newspaper Advisor for the National College Media Association. The Wisconsin native took over as the student newspaper advisor just 2 years ago and has already made quite an impact in his role. Dr. Caravu says he was very surprised to earn the recognition.
I wasn't thinking that I would ever get this award, and definitely not this early. And so they must have a lot of faith in me and the work that I've done in the last 2 years with the students with the newspaper to give me this honor.
Same. Here when I say that there is no better person for this award. And it's no better time for Rush Week to ring in the new school year. KGSM's Ren Springer gives us an inside look.
This year's Rush Week is back in person and each sorority is ready to take on new members. We also take a look at why Greek life is important to campus.
Greek life is important on campus because it allows students to foster new relationships that they may not have had before.
I think it's important to have Greek life on campus because it connects us to the community and allows us to connect with other groups on campus.
As well as it helps the campus, it also helps the community.
The way Greek life gives back to our community is through our philanthropies. Each sorority on campus has a different philanthropy. Ours is March of Dimes, and then so on. And we are able to use that money and give it back to our community and help those that are in need or help the babies and whatnot.
Greek life at Missouri Western is different than other universities.
I know that there's a big stereotype with Greek life on university campuses, but that's something that we're trying to work to fix, because not everywhere has such a negative impact on their university. And definitely here at Missouri Western, it's definitely a positive thing to have Greek life because we do a lot of community service.
If you want to learn more about Greek life, you can contact Maya Preston or go to the Missouri Western Greek life homepage. Reporting for KGSM-TV, I'm Ren Springer.
Coming up, football is officially back at Spratt Stadium for the first real time in 2 years. And the return of football means the return of the tailgate. More right after this break.
The average text takes your eyes off the road for nearly 5 seconds.
Welcome back. A long-standing football tradition is finally back this fall. The return of tailgating brings out students to show off their school spirit. Missouri Western fans turned out and cooked out before Saturday's Griffin game. This event marks another somewhat return to normal after COVID-19 canceled football seasons across the nation in 2020. Tailgating gives fans the chance to come together.
I feel like it just really brings the community together. Like, you can have like student athletes, regular students, and people who just live in St. Joe come and get together and party before the football game.
Football also returned to the field, lighting up the crowd in thrilling fashion Saturday night. The Griffs stared down an undefeated Emporia team on their quest to go above 500 this season. A slow first half pinned the Griffs to a 28-7 halftime deficit, but Western outscored the Hornets in 31-7 in the second half to come back for a 38-37 victory. Afterward, Coach Matt Williamson talked about the halftime speech and whether it provided a spark for the team.
Walked in and we got together, made corrections first, and then after the corrections were made, pulled them back together as a group and just said, I'm not yelling, I'm not throwing, I'm not doing anything. This is on you guys. It's 100% all you. I said, there's leaders in this room that are all standing around right
The Griffins,
now,
a trip to Topeka, Kansas on Saturday to take on.
I just walked out. What was cool when I did that, as I left, I heard voices I didn't see, but I heard voices that I wanted, that I knew that were leaders that should be saying stuff. They started saying stuff as I walked out. I'm like, okay, we got a chance now.
Next up for the 2-1 Griffins, a trip to Topeka, Kansas on Saturday to take on 2-1 Washburn. Kickoff is set for 1 p.m. This year, Missouri Western has a new softball coach and a new technique to the game. Our very own Ren Springer has this story.
This year's softball season looks a little different. This year's softball coach is Joe Yegi. Let's take a look to see what he has to bring to the table.
We're not going to change much, just kind of give them a little different direction. My philosophies, we're just going to, I don't know much about the history of how they played their game, but we're going to be relaxed. We're going to play hard. We're going to fly around the field. We're going to be very focused on mechanics and, just doing things, the little things right. But we're also going to be playing with grit.
Although Yegi's new, all the athletes are excited to see what he has to offer.
Well, now that we have a new coach, I'm just really looking forward to all the changes that are being made, everything that, it can be different, but also a good difference. So I'm looking forward to all the expertise that Yegi has to bring to the program, all of his experience and his competitiveness. I think it'll bring something valuable to the program.
We are really excited to have Yegi. His philosophies are very different than Coach Bagley's, so I feel like it'll be a different approach to how we play the game and everybody in the conference.
The expectation is that Yegi will try to fill Coach Bagley's shoes. It will be tough, but not impossible.
She laid a great foundation and has a great program here, and the tradition's strong, so not going to come in and change things, just going to keep building off of what she did and hopefully just help take the next step.
Reporting for KGSM-TV, I'm Ren Springer.
Well, that's all we have for today. Thank you for watching KGSM-TV. Join us next week for more coverage.